Hello everyone and welcome to Semi Homesteading with Abby. Thank you all so much for tuning into today's video. We have something very exciting happening this weekend. We are becoming beekeepers. Now I act excited about this, but I'm a little nervous. So what we have to do, today we are prepping. So we have our bee boxes and right now they're not painted. So we need to paint them. We have two lower boxes, a honey super, and then a top and a bottom. Now I was gonna paint all of them white, but I kind of wanted to spice it up a little bit and paint some of them green. So I went to Lowe's this morning. I got this really cute green paint color, which I will show you. So this is our green paint color. I have loaded it into this tray and we're gonna paint our boxes this nice spring green. Now, I was gonna paint half of them white, half of them green to give a little variety, but I honestly don't really wanna like set up the whole other color of paint. So I think they're just all gonna be green, which I'm fine with. So we're gonna paint the outside. Then this afternoon, I need to actually set up the hive and like the stack and everything. So we're gonna put them on cinder blocks, get a strap because the wind in our neighborhood is pretty crazy. So we don't want the bees to blow over. So we're gonna strap them to cinder blocks. And then tomorrow is the big nerve-wracking day where we actually pick up the bees. It is like bee gotcha day. So again, I'm a first-time beekeeper. I'm nervous, but I think it's gonna be okay. We got nukes, so we just have to transfer like the frames into our hives. I think it's gonna be fine. We got our bee suits. So all of that is prepped. We just need to actually paint our bee boxes and pick up the bees. I got exterior paint, semi-gloss. They just said any light color. So I think the green just makes it a little cuter. It'll make it blend in a little bit more to our surroundings, and overall, I'm excited, so we'll get on with it. Okay, so I have painted the bottom and the first box, and then on this stack we have our second box and the honey super. I painted the outside of the like separator, I don't know. So those are all drying. It's drying in a weird thing. So I'll do some touch-ups, but I don't actually know if I need like a full second coat because my first coat on this one looks pretty darn good. They look cute. So next step is to go to the big toolbox, get the rest of the supplies, and then set up the hives. Once we carried the boxes down to where we wanted them, we found some level ground and my husband put the cinder blocks on and we strapped down the boxes. Here we have two shown, but we ended up just going with one. So we were all ready for the bee pickup the next day, and the next day ended up being very snowy and cold, so we ended up pushing back our pickup time a little bit. We got it all loaded into the car. I got an extra bee suit and the nuke, and we drove home with them. Okay, it is bee time. So it's the next day. It decided to snow on our day to pick up the bees, which I was nervous about. And I thought that they would cancel, but it turns out that being cold is much better than being too hot. So they were totally fine with it snowing. So it's kind of cleared up now. It's just like a little bluster of snow. And here are our bees. So we have these, which are pollen patties, which will feed them. They're like these, I don't know, kind of brownie looking things. So we'll put one on there for their food as we transfer them. But here's the bee nuke. As you can see, there's a couple stragglers. So we got this nuke net, it's called. So let me give you a little rundown on the game plan. We are going to carry the nuke out to the field where they're gonna be, like next to the hive. And then you slide this door open and let them kind of get accustomed to the area, let them go in and out from the nuke. We're gonna wait like probably an hour and then go out and transfer the frames. That way they just get used to it. We're doing a single box because it's so cold, and then putting one of those pollen patties on top so they have food, and the transition just goes a little bit easier. So I'm less nervous because I watched some YouTube videos where like a 10-year-old transferred a nuke and like installed a nuke, and it looked pretty easy. So I'm less nervous. That really helped. I'll link their channel below because I really like them. But for right now, Jason is just gonna go inside and get his suit on, and I'm gonna suit up here. I got this suit that's a little bit heavier duty since I'm pregnant, and I don't know, we also got Benadryl on the way to picking up the bees just in case. We're gonna suit up. Let's do this. I have not cleaned up my painting station yet, which I need to do. That'll be after I come back in from setting up the nuke. So I still have my other box here and my honey super. Both of those will be added later in the season. We don't need them yet. Okay, this is looking pretty good. Although I need gloves. Stand by. We're all ready. Jason's just coming out. We checked each other like we're entering a biohazard place. Don't think there's any holes, so hopefully minimal stinging. Okay. Take off. Oh.
Okay.
Okay. We open the door. I don't see any coming out.
I heard one immediately.
You did?
Yeah, one definitely flew right out.
Okay. Now we're gonna wait for about an hour, I think, and come on back. Okay, we're back up in the garage. It's hard to video anything when we're actually like doing the install. We don't have a third camera person, so I'll just give you a recap. Basically, oh my gosh, I'm out of breath from walking up the hill, but they're very docile right now. Like, they're not moving around a ton. We opened the door on the nuke and it all seemed to go well. There were a couple going in and out, so we know the door is open, but there weren't like a ton swarming, and I think that's just because it's 30 degrees. We will go back out there in like 45 minutes and actually do the transfer, which is the big part. So wish us luck. Okay, in the meantime, while the bees are acclimating a little bit, we are going to set up the smoker. Okay, I don't think we're gonna be smoking for very long. So it says to you just put this in this can, light it. It says you might not see any flames, but you should get some smoke. Let's figure out how to open this. So I'm assuming you put it on the bottom. Okay, we got some smoke going. Now I'll put it outside until we're ready. Okay, the other thing we're prepping is the pollen patty. So I'll put this directly on the frames. We just cut out this little piece because this lasts for a long time. So I think we're ready to suit up again and go transfer. And I think our smoker's having some issues. So I want to bring the lighter down also because it doesn't seem to be producing too much smoke. So that's not great. I think since it's cold, they'll be pretty docile anyway, but still. My husband is going to bring a stool down so we can try to videotape it, set it up. I have our pollen patty we'll take down, our smoker, metal tool to break up the frames, and our lighter. And I'm gonna light this smoker again really quick. All right, we're ready to go. I forgot my gloves. That would be bad. Okay, We're good now.
Frame, so it's easy to put them in.
Are you to hold the smoker? Oh, that's working now. Make sure I'm not staying on the couch. Should have put my hair in.
Yeah.
We're almost done. Yeah, he's really wants my face.
You got somebody on you.
I do.
They're kind of like, yeah.
That?
Yeah.
Okay. Right?
Yeah, mine sounds good.
Gonna be in there.
No stings. So we finished the installation. It all went super well. We didn't get stung at all. It was honestly way less nerve-wracking than I thought it would be. I thought I would be really trying to calm myself down, but once you kind of realize that you have this suit on and then really like nothing's gonna sting you, it stops being that nerve-wracking. One bee did try to sting my hand. I saw the stinger get stuck and like the abdomen, you know, rip out and stuff. So they weren't all docile, but there's no way a sting was really getting through the suit. So we just got back to the house, made sure we didn't have any more bees on the suit, and it all turned out great. So not as scary as one would think. It's really kind of doable. I'm glad it was cold because they were more docile. I'm sure they would have been a lot more active and loud and stuff if it was warm. So that actually worked out really well for us. But yeah, we are now beekeepers. So we're gonna go back and check on the hive in about, you know, a couple days to a week. And I just wanna make sure that they're alive, surviving the cold, doing okay. So I'll check back in a couple days or a week or something like that to make sure they're all thriving. But I think overall it was a success and we are officially beekeepers. So I'm so excited that it went so well. I felt like I climbed Mount Everest. I feel like I built it up in my mind way too much for what it ended up being. But seeing how easy it was and actually doing the install and getting in there with my hands and like actually doing it made it so much better. So I don't think I'm that afraid of bees anymore, or at least that number of bees at once. That is all for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you are a beekeeper, let me know any tips or comments or anything below. I would love to hear. Trying to learn as much as I can, so I appreciate the feedback. I will see you next week for another video. Bye everyone.